And one, checking the feed, 1 second. Loading up now. Okay, we should be live.
As we are.
Yep, we are live. Okay, welcome to the East Springfield Neighborhood Council Board meeting for June 2nd, 2020. I just want to give everyone a quick intro, which says that we are currently live on our Facebook feed. We would hope that anyone who is seeing this, we're also going to post it on our YouTube channel, would go to our YouTube and like the YouTube page and subscribe. Once we get to 100 subscribers, we can secure our page, which would be great. The other thing is we're going to be taking any questions through the live feed during the agenda. Once we get to the end of the actual presentation, we will be answering questions or taking anything that's coming from the feed or from the email system. So at this time, I want to proceed to the next phase and turn this over to our president, Kathleen Brown.
Welcome again to the East Springfield Neighborhood Council Board meeting. Let's call the meeting to order with a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the
republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you again. We have called the meeting to order and we do have a quorum. With us tonight, Marie Koski, Peggy Shea, Brenda Spalding, John Koski, Clancy Gillette, Guy Kennison, Lucy Champagne, and Lynn Burnett. I think I have everybody. And again, welcome to the Springfield Neighborhood Council meeting. Our meeting will, as Guy said, take questions at the end of the meeting, and we just have a couple of short presentations. We want you to know that these meetings are important and we really want to hear from you. So please, when you have a question, type it right in and we'll be ready to answer it. The newsletter is at the printer. It will be mailed to all East Springfield residents by the end of this week, probably a little sooner than that. Follow up on the plaza. We do have monthly conference calls. We meaning myself, Kathy Mossy from Hungry Hill, and City Councilor Michael Fenton, and we've been meeting with the plaza management to make sure that the appropriate signage is up, the potholes are all taken care of, and get any plaza updates from them. So we'll be meeting with them in another week. We continue our resident and business outreach, even though we can't meet together. We're doing these meetings, and also we would like you, if you have a new neighbor, to please email us their address. We don't need their name. We just need their complete address so that we can send them a welcome note. And we've been contacted by the census, the 2020 census, and we've been advised that it's important for everybody to fill out the census information so that we get a complete count. We're going to be spending some time tomorrow night actually meeting again via Zoom with the census people to see how we can increase participation in some of the parts of East Springfield that haven't responded as much as they should have. A good part of East Springfield's in pretty good shape percentage wise, but it can always be better because we'd really like to have everybody counted. So please, if you haven't done the census, please take care of that. Well, let's see. City services are operating. Please remember to call 311 or the longer telephone number, the 736-3111, if you can't dial 311 from your cell phone. We continue to work on zoning code issues, signage, etc. So just a couple of updates on some of that. multiple people in the neighborhood have reported issues with unreasonable noise. We did bring that up at our police meeting 2 weeks ago, and it is on the agenda for our meeting in 2 weeks. But we will communicate those addresses that we've received since the last meeting. But I cannot encourage you enough to please pick up a phone. If you are aggravated by unreasonable noise, call the non-emergency police number 787-6300 and ask for a cruiser to respond. It's just the beginning of the summer, and we want to make sure that we get a little handle on this before it gets too noisy. I mean, unreasonable noise is amplified noise that can be heard by a person of normal hearing at a distance of 50 feet. That's considered unreasonable. Unreasonable noise that's not amplified is noise that can be heard by a person of normal hearing at a distance of 100 feet. So that's what we'll use for our benchmark. So report them to the police when they're occurring. A couple people who called to say it happened 2 days ago, and that doesn't help because we can't get the police to get out there and help us get it taken care of. Per the Department of Public Works, the signage that we've requested will be installed soon. We followed up on that this week. Some of the signs are the no-through trucks on Haumont at Page, and an updated Page Boulevard directional sign at Haumont and Page, and also a no-through traffic at Page and St. James Circle. And there are others that we're working on, and we will report on them when we have some more definitive installation information. Okay, I think I'm going to move the meeting over to the next slide. And John Koski, would you please speak to the electronic speed signs and the drive signs?
Yes, be happy to. Good evening, everyone. If you've been driving in the neighborhood, you probably have observed that one of our electronic speed boards, radar speed boards, has been mounted on St. James Avenue, located on St. James Avenue before the curve. As you're coming from I-291 towards the Big Y, you will see it. Actually, it's at the curve, but it can be observed before you get to the curve. And today they were installing the radar speed board on Page Boulevard. Did I say St. James Avenue or Page Boulevard before? Okay, so the one at the curve on St. James is installed. They were installing the one on Page Boulevard. It's as you're heading from I-291 towards the Bulk Mail Center. It's on this side as you're heading away from I-291 right before the curve. And I understand, I haven't seen it yet, but we've gotten feedback from folks that the radar speed board has been, the third one that we're having installed has been located out on Worcester Street. So good to have those out there, and I hope they help with some of the speeding issues that we have in the neighborhood. Also, drive like your kids live here. Haven't said too much about this in the past because the ground's been frozen and difficult to install these signs, but now that winter's behind us and our ground is thawed, just want to remind everybody we do have a supply of drive like your kids live here signs. We have them available for $8 each, and you can get those by, you can see there's on the slide there, you can call me at 413-734-6262, or you can email me at jkoski12@hotmail.com, or email me at myESN. I think that was updates. That's all I had since the last meeting. Beyond, I guess as you probably have observed, Springfield Police Traffic Bureau has been doing some speed initiatives to help us with some of the speeding that we have in the neighborhood. We were talking a little bit earlier before the meeting about people not stopping at stop signs and some other crazy behavior that's going on out on in the neighborhood streets. So, we're asking all the neighborhood to just be mindful of the speed limit and you're driving the speed limit and observing all of the traffic signs will help those around us do the same. That's all I have.
Thank you very much, John. Appreciate that report. Okay, we're going to the next item.
Irene was logging in to cover the art boxes today.
She
I
here
think
yet?
she's
I'm here.
Okay, she's here.
I'm here. So we had a couple of interesting nights, especially the last couple. It was actually a lot of fun. But we got all of the individual art pieces into the bags. We're waiting to assemble the boxes themselves until we know when people are ordering them, how many they're ordering them, just because of space issues. But all of the individual items are packaged up in the bags. They're ready to go. I know that the website has the update, so it's launched. It's up there. People can start ordering a number of boxes that they'd like. We have a limit of 3 just set up in there, but of course, if there's a family that has more than 3 children or people that they're collecting for, they can put a note along the bottom. But we are set to go. We also have some volunteers who have offered to deliver these boxes for us when they're ready and situated. And I know that we're working with the library to make sure that some folks, the families know that our boxes are available, and getting their names and getting their information. Guy, did I forget anything?
I mean, I'd like to just say thank you to Guy and Irene because, you know, in this pandemic time we're in now, it has made it impossible for us to the board members to help them stuff these 200 plus boxes. So I want to thank you for giving us so much time to do this. Not that you don't give time all the time, but thank you, because it really is not a 1 or 2 man job, but you're taking care of it and getting it done.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And they look nice.
They look great. They look great.
Yeah, there's actually so that's pretty much everything in the picture, but then there's also a little thing of Play-Doh in there as well now too. So I had
Cool.
a affinity to Play-Doh when I was a kid, so I thought it would be cool.
No, I bet the children the people will enjoy it. It will
Yeah.
be great. And again, thanks to the Springfield Cultural Council and the Mass Cultural Council for helping us out with some funding on this project.
Yeah,
Okay.
and like Irene said, myesnc.com, the registration link is there now. The newsletter is on its way, so as soon as that's out, people will hear from there, and we'll be putting it up on our social pages in the next couple days.
Okay, thank you. Good work. Next.
Oh, sorry. I'm asleep over here, so
That's okay.
Irene brought me a coffee right before the meeting started to try to pep me up at 6:45 sleeping.
Okay, are there any questions from the board members and the people who are on this platform with me right now? Okay, if not, you can pipe in. Are there any questions from our viewing people on Facebook?
Not yet. A few people said hello. Trish, Sean, Deb, Beth. There's a few other people who didn't say anything.
Okay.
Beth did ask if these were available to the entire city or just East Springfield. And yes, if someone in your neighborhood is looking for one, just send them to myesnc.com. And there's a registration page there.
Okay. Any other questions?
Kathy, we have noticed that there's been a increase in graffiti in the neighborhood.
Yep.
That's been reported to 311. There's the Jose Tosado's building that his office is in.
Yep.
The wall that abuts Gendonato's there has got graffiti.
Yep.
And the building, one of the old buildings that now owned by Walgreens on the corner of St. James and Carew, St. James Avenue and St. James Boulevard. The closed buildings, the
Yep.
waiting
The old
building.
Party World. Yep. Or party.
That's got some painting, some writing on the wall related to recent events that are
Okay.
going on.
And we're gonna get, we'll get that taken care of. And you reported that one also, John, to
Right,
311?
that one's been reported, yes.
Okay,
And there's an ongoing problem with shopping carriages accumulating on the
Oh,
water pump house site.
yep,
yeah, yeah.
The corner
There were
of,
4 or 5 of them the other day.
all right.
There's 6 this morning.
6
Okay,
So I've reported that, and I know Julio's gone and addressed it at least 2 or 3 times in the past, and they're back there again. So this is, I don't know, I mean, it's obviously out of all the issues that we're dealing with, it's
Well-
not the most important issue in the world, but it's becoming a place where apparently everybody feels comfortable that that's where you bring your carriages home and you dump them over there. And I think fixing that problem is going to require maybe something a little heavy-handed with the businesses that are letting those carriages go.
Okay, yep.
They haven't cleaned them up at all. They're just getting more and more every day.
Now they're stacked.
but you know what? Somebody picked up the trash in the grass because one of the carriages is full of junk.
Right, right.
So somebody was trying to clean somewhat.
Okay, so let's put that on our, let's do something
Yeah.
proactive in the next, week or so.
And there's still some on Firmwall as well.
And on Fernwall, okay.
And, I did 311, the ones there by the Springfield.
I reported 311 again this morning.
Okay,
Good.
so did the ones on Fernwall get reported to 311?
Yep,
Okay, so
Very
the
good.
only thing that hasn't been reported, so everything that we've just brought up in the past couple of minutes has already been reported to 311, am I correct?
yes.
Okay, all right. And then I'm gonna add one graffiti location to that. The old bottle redemption location on Page Boulevard, must be about the 200 block. That had some graffiti on the side of it. So I'll report that. I assume it's still there.
Yeah, and actually, I saw one today that I have to go back and report because I was in my work email system. I couldn't open the 311 app while I was doing my work stuff, but our building actually has graffiti that got hit on it. So
Which side, guy, where,
on where the concrete is,
the patio?
yeah, somebody like sprayed like a butterfly or some sort of thing with like 2 names. So I don't know if it's like I Heart, Joni
Is it on the
Heart,
patio
Sassy
or is it
whatever.
on the brick?
It's on the door,
the
thank
door.
God. So that'll be
Door,
easier
okay.
to get rid of.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, that's good. So again, everybody, please pick up the phone and call 311 whenever you see any of these things, because that's how we keep some of the chaos down. We did follow up on a few locations with some very, very tall grass. But I expect that people will be getting out fairly soon to mow some of that tall grass.
Another thing that's been annoying is the basketball hoops in the road now.
Okay. If you can give us some specific locations, we can take a look.
I reported 2 locations this morning.
Oh, okay. Okay, and yeah, and the rule is that the basketball hoops cannot be in the road because the road is a public way and it would be considered an obstruction. And there's concern that somebody's going to get hit. So there is an obstruction rule. Anything else from the team or from the community?
My hoop is in the driveway. It is not in the road. So
Okay, you're good then. Peggy?
I have a question on is fire pits. They seem to be popping up now in people's backyards.
Well, I would
They're
certainly,
illegal, right?
I would defer to the fire department, but there is no open burning allowed in the city of Springfield,
Okay.
unless you're actually cooking a hot dog or whatever your.
Well,
food
no,
is.
this was a fire pit.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
If you want to talk with us about the specific address, we can reach back out to the fire department and get absolute clarity on that. But I mean, I did hear the Commissioner Calvi just say on the television that open burning in Springfield is not permitted.
Okay.
Unless you're cooking
I
food.
know where,
Right.
I mean, it's right in back of me.
Yeah, but that's okay. We just,
Kathy, can I just clarify? So if you're cooking food over a fire pit or open flame, then that's okay? So
Well,
if you have a hot dog on a stick, you can have a fire pit?
I don't think so, because
I-
it's a fire pit, right?
well, the rule is no open burning in Springfield. I think that there's some discretion that's used, and that's why what I'm willing to do is call the commissioner, fire commissioner, and get his exact wording so that we can give people an exact answer, because I don't want anybody to be jammed up. But it was my understanding that if you were cooking a hot dog, you would be okay, but I don't want to say that totally publicly until I get confirmation from the commissioner.
Well, I have another
I-
question though.
Yeah.
There, you've got open burning, you know, the chimney is, you know, the fireplaces where you're throwing wood onto an open flame, and then there are people that have the enclosed gas burning
Mhm.
flame. Is that considered an open flame? I mean,
I don't know. That's why I think we need to talk to the commissioner. I mean, that's my opinion, because I don't have those answers.
yeah.
And I mean,
I
Guy, go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know back when we were first moving here, we had called and spoke to, I think, a lieutenant or a sergeant, and they checked on it because we were looking into it for a propane like fire pit. And we were told basically the cooking thing. So we always make sure we have s'mores kits, which works out good when kids are over anyway.
Mhm.
So, or some of the adults.
Yeah, test for that.
Well,
That
good
was great,
recipe with
actually, guy.
crescent rolls and cinnamon
Yeah.
and sugar too.
The people that,
Huh?
what, who said what? Marie, were you talking?
So good recipe using cinnamon, crescent rolls and cinnamon and sugar.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah,
Okay.
on a stick.
And two other things that came up. Someone, Deborah said that there was a 233 page. There's 3 or 4 instances of graffiti over there. So I think that's the one that's by the old CrossFit that now is slated to be a recreational marijuana establishment.
311 is, yeah, 311 is where the marijuana store is gonna be. So it's probably a little sooner. It's probably the old, we'll check it out, but it's probably the old bottle redemption location.
Okay, we can check that out. And the
Yep.
other thing was, and I do know this has been the case. I've heard them the last few nights. Fireworks. Someone's reporting that around Ardmore Street, there is fireworks happening 9:45, 10 o'clock. I know last night I heard fireworks up to almost 1. So, but the problem was that for me, I would call them in, but I wouldn't be able to really pinpoint them because they were far enough away where they weren't close to know.
Right.
But I think that's one of those things that the police always say, if you know about the area where it's happening, the best thing we can do is report it so that they can find the people.
Mhm,
'Cause
mhm.
fireworks are still legal. They're just a matter of finding the people when they're lighting them off to get it to
Right.
stop.
And the issue is fire safety. Again, it goes back to the fire safety.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was another concern from the neighbor because it's been so dry lately that, they're scared with the fireworks, which is a valid point if they
okay,
go into some dry leaves or something.
okay. Anything else? Anything else from our Facebook people?
I think that's everything from the feed right now.
Okay. All right, I don't think I have anything else on my list. If no, does anybody have anything else that they want to bring up? Any board member?
Don't think so.
No?
Just
Okay.
I'm working,
What?
I'm still working on the list of
Oh.
businesses.
Thank you, Peggy.
And
Yes.
I think I have 99% of them right now.
Okay, good. So
I suppose
Peggy's,
you want those in alphabetical order, right?
we can get them in alphabetical order. Guy will play his magic and get them in alphabetical order. So you just keep working. Peggy, we appreciate the fact that you're putting all that data into that spreadsheet. So thank you. That's
Okay.
fantastic. And also, Peggy, we want to thank you. Peggy did take all of the tablecloths from the office, all of them, and she did launder them. So they'll be ready and fresh when we get back into the office, which hopefully will be fairly soon.
Is there any indication of when we can do that?
At this point, no, I mean, the city's only in phase 1.
Okay.
So there is no indication yet, but it will happen. I know it is fair to say that the June police meeting and the July meetings will be in this same virtual format,
Okay.
because there's no way we'll be ready to go back before the beginning of August, even if the beginning of August is appropriate.
I got a notice from the Y that they are in phase 3 and they plan on opening up June 29th.
June 29th? Okay.
That's what they're saying. They're in the phase 3 part of it though.
Oh, wow, okay.
How can it be in phase 3 until the governor releases it for phase 3?
They're just guessing, 3 weeks a phase.
Because we're not in phase 2 yet.
Yeah,
No,
the city's not in phase 2.
That's more than 3 weeks away.
Because, okay, I've been watching the mayor's thing that he does on Mondays, and it's usually pretty informative, and I know it's repeated several times. So again, anybody who has a minute and wants to watch that, it's informative. As soon as we hear something, we'll let you know. Anything official, we'll let you know. Okay, but thanks again, Peggy, for doing all those tablecloths, because it's not fun. Okay, where's my last slide, guy? My last slide?
The last slide I took down when you said that we were having a meeting in June and July. It was
Okay,
just, the next meeting is June 16th at 6:30.
okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, well, if you have any questions, if you want to get us some information, please feel free, contact at myesnc.com. And everybody should be getting the newsletter in the mail very soon. So
Oh, and in the video feed, anyone who's watching, Sean Mullen just put a link to an article for WWLP for the actual laws around burning
Fire
and fires,
pits.
and there you go.
Oh, okay, thank you. And that's
Great.
good.
Thank
It's been a
you.
long day. I was up late stuffing art
Stuffing-
boxes.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay. Thank you very much. Have a really good evening, and we'll
Okay.
see you in a couple of weeks.
Great.
Okay.
I am